I don't know about you, but I'm happy that the preseason is over. And I'm also happy that nobody got hurt in last night's game. And that goes for two of these teams. Nobody wants to see a player go down with an injury during a meaningless preseason game. And that's exactly why two of these teams, they decided to keep a lot of the big dogs out of the lineup last night. Now, this game review is brought to you by the good folks over at Miraj Trading. And at MirageTrading.com, you can find hockey cards, baseball cards, Pokemon cards. Wait, I thought he played hockey. But you can find other links in the description of today's video. And now back to the game review. Alright, here we go. It's the last game of the preseason. Habs, Sens, the puck is dropped. And Sammy Blais is out here trying to set the tone early. He gets in a pretty big lick behind Ottawa's net. But you know what? The Sens, you got to give them some credit. You see, last night, they came to play hockey. And they were all over the Canadians in the first period of this hockey game. Until eventually, Mr. High Stakes himself, okay, that's Shane Pinto, he's going to chip one past Samuel Montembeault to make it a 1-goal game. Just a few minutes later, the Sens are looking for more. Michael Amadio is going to get absolutely robbed right on the doorstep by Joe Veleno. And when the first period comes to an end, the Canadians find themselves down by a goal. And the Sens, they're out shooting them 14-4. I mean, there's not a whole lot to like about the first period of this hockey game. It was brutal. So now we're going to move on to the second period where I expected a little bit of a better effort, but nothing really changed. The Sens, they're still getting quite a few good looks, especially that Kaliev kid who didn't get on the score sheet last night for the Sens, but I thought he looked incredible. And eventually, again, after some hard work in the offensive zone, Jensen fires a shot from the point, and it's David Perron who gets a piece of it to make it a 2-goal game. Now, when I was looking at this replay, it almost looked like Sammy Blais might have got a piece of that one as well. But I mean, at this point, I didn't even give a shit. Because believe it or not, Sammy here, he was a bright spot during last night's game for Habs fans, okay? This guy was a monster truck out there. Now, towards the end of the second period, the Canadians do get multiple power play attempts. But unfortunately, they just didn't have any rhythm. They didn't do a whole lot of damage. So that pretty much wraps up the second period. Not a whole lot to brag about here. Now we're going to move on to the third, where it appears as if the Canadians have finally awoken. Look who decided to crawl out of bed. Now they're actually putting some pucks towards Allmark. In fact, lots of them. They even score a goal at one point. That's our little bundle of joy, picking up his second goal of the preseason. But you know what? It was too little too late, okay? Former Hab, Lars Eller, he's eventually going to put this one away with an empty netter. And your final score of the game is 3-1. But I'm not upset. I don't really care. I just want to focus on some of the positives, okay? Something to be happy about from last night's game. Number one, I think it's fair to say that Sammy Blais was the most noticeable player on the Canadians roster last night. Everybody else looked like they were on skates. Sammy here looked like he was in a truck just running guys over all night. I thought it was pretty cool. In fact, that performance last night probably saved him from being placed on waivers. So good for him. I thought he looked good. Number two, another positive from last night's game. It might be a bit of a hot take. Okay, I might be reaching here. But Samuel Montembeault, I thought he looked pretty good. 26 saves from him last night. The only one that really got by him was this one right here from Shane Pinto. I mean, the other one was tipped. So he deserves a bit of credit because without him, this game could have easily been out of reach within the first 20 minutes. And finally, the biggest, the most positive takeaway from last night's game for both teams. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody got hurt. Isn't that good? Because this game was so hyped up. A lot of people thought there was going to be blood, especially with Cardio Curtis McDermott out there. But nothing happened. And you can point fingers all you want. But obviously, the reason why nothing happened is because nobody was being a dick out there. No chops. No hits from behind. No real reason to have the police anything last night. And I'm pretty happy about it. Because if we go back to last preseason, the Canadians, they got slapped pretty good with a big Patrick Laine injury. And this year, we escaped it, okay? We escaped the preseason injury shenanigans. I don't think Zachary Bolduc's injury is anything serious. So, I mean, aside from David Reinbacher doing his annual little injury thing, we didn't really get any surprises. But that's it. It's over. Preseason is done. You can let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Please let me know what you thought about Sammy Blade. Did this man just earn himself a roster position last night? I want to hear all about it. Don't forget to give that like button a suplex on the way out of here. And hey, I'll see you next time.